Hey everybody, Anthony here, Six-Kill Mafia. This is supposed to be a special broadcast tonight, Monday evening. We will have John from InArts / Queen Studios here. I think we were supposed to be here at 6, but I think maybe he thinks 7 in the time zone. So I don't really want to keep people waiting. I figured,
kind of wonder how that happened, man.
Yeah. You're saying it was his fault, or was it someone else's?
Well, I'm not really sure. Because when we spoke, I said 6 p.m. my time, and he said that sounds great. That's 10 a.m. my time. I said okay, cool. But when we look, it's like 9:15 over there right now. So I think there may have been something there.
It just sounds like you need to fire your assistant.
Well, damn it, man.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so we're just gonna, we're gonna shoot the shit right now for I guess a little bit, and hope he gets back in time. So my apologies, everybody. I think there was just a lack of understanding on that one. So I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah,
people are leaving, man. Bob Dylan said, "I'll show myself out."
Yeah, he was the one in charge, right? No, that's what he was saying. So my apologies, everybody. Ant-Man, I will get to your super chat when we get John in here, brother. So we're just gonna kind of have to wait until he shows up. So, but anyway, I do have Mario here to my left. What's going on, man?
What's happening, man? I'm happy to be here, bro. Just had myself a Costco hot dog, man, before the show, and I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good.
How much are the Costco hot dogs now?
$1.50, man, plus a drink, man. You can't go wrong.
Ooh, can't go wrong.
$1.50 and the drinks included.
$1.50 and the drinks included, bro. Big ass foot long, hot doggy goodness. and then a drink, bro.
Well, that's damn good. That's damn good.
It is, man.
Brother Cousins, my man, welcome back again.
Hey, thank you for having me, brother. Thank you for having me.
Always, man, always. I look forward to this evening, guys. I'm so sorry. It sucks. So for those who are tuning in now on the replay, fast forward if you don't want to hear us babble on. Because John's gonna probably be like about an hour late because I don't know, problems. But yeah, great to have Brother Cousins back again, and my buddy Sean Toku Collectors finally has a chance to come back on. What's up, brother?
Not much. Just had some free time, and kind of cool to talk with John and see what's going on from over there. See what they're going to be offering people like us. And I'm not on much, unfortunately. I'm very busy, other stuff, but yeah, it's good to be here.
Absolutely, man. I know it is, dude. It's cool, and your setup's starting to look pretty good back there, man.
It's basically the same, just a little additions and a little changes. I'm kind of getting a little bit other things. I found a bit of a little collection going in with some more of my Toku side of collecting other than the 6-scale stuff, so I'm trying to blend them together.
Can I just say that if I didn't recognize Sean's collection in the background, I wouldn't recognize Sean himself. There's something about him right now that's throwing me off. I don't know what it is. I can't quite pinpoint it, but my man's looking a little different. I don't know what it is, man. Looking a little youthful, even more so than normal. I just can't pinpoint it.
Well, you shaved.
Well, there's that. Yeah, that could be that. It could be.
Is there something I'm missing here, or what?
That's got to be it, man. I could have sworn you had a beard.
Yeah, I had the beard, and it's just shaved some of the gray away.
Man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well,
you lose a bet or something, bro?
5 out of 5 optometrists approve the stream. Yeah, I know, right? We're all wearing glasses. I normally don't, but I've been so I usually don't wear them, but I've been not feeling very good for a while here, and I don't know if it's my vision, so we're gonna see.
It's just the show of the times. Everyone's wearing glasses now.
Nope. If I didn't have my glasses on, man, everybody would just be one big giant blur, man. I can't see like worth a damn in front of me, bro.
Yeah, I wear contacts, and I wore my contacts a little too much over the last couple of. I think I had them on maybe a week or two too long because I had the temporaries and my eyes started turning red. So I was like, I got to get back into glasses for a little bit. So
I got you, man. Well, everybody who's here, thank you for joining. My apologies that we have a little bit of a delay with John coming on in. So I don't really know. We're just kind of shooting the shit right now until he arrives. I mean, I'm not even sure what there is to really talk about. I thought maybe Hot Toys would have dropped something last night, but
they kind of did. They did mention something about
yeah, I guess we can talk about
one of their stores are doing like a Star Wars thing. I think in September.
At 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗠 in Japan.
𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗠, there you go.
And they showed the Naboo fighter again. So
Again.
promising.
Yeah.
They also showed all three of the chromes.
Yep.
And I believe that they will have them.
Sideshow still needs shipment.
No, not yet. No, but I think they're going to have some for sale specifically at 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠, but very limited for the folks in Japan. And that is September 3rd. But yes, they did show off that Naboo starfighter again. And if you guys remember last year, 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠 also did this event, but it was all Back to the Future. Jay, I'm sure you remember that.
Oh yeah. Good days, good times.
Yeah. So, and
shortly after we did get a reveal after that, or pre-order announcement after that. So,
well, we got Marty.
Yep.
And the DeLorean.
Yeah. Well, the DeLorean is kind of newish though.
Wasn't it like a little bit after that event?
No. A few months or something.
It was
months.
February.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like actually that came
out.
out.
Okay.
I mean, it was still technically on the coattails of the Back to the Future craze that they had there, but
yeah.
I don't think it was a part of it.
No, it wasn't a part of it.
You guys really think the N1 is really going to come out?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
In 6 scale?
Yeah.
Yes, in 6 scale.
Yeah.
They're showing it more often than they're showing other items that have been in prototypes. So they're a little bit more comfortable letting everyone know about it.
You don't get a kiss.
I'm right next to you, man. Come on.
No, dude, we're not doing that, dude. We got like 80 people in here right now. No.
Let them watch. Come on, bro.
Damn voyeurism. Listen, no, I think no, but you guys are kind of right. You like do it. Yeah. So you're right though. It's like a few months after the fact, but I absolutely do think that starfighter is coming because Hot Toys knows that they're Tokenator, man. Hot Toys knows that there's a demand for vehicles.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's attributed to Jazz Inc., but I know that they know that there are people buying vehicles.
Nope.
Period.
I've seen people making custom vehicles.
Yeah. And the Hot Toys has given us and continues to give us vehicles. Now, granted, they haven't given us a 6-foot starfighter yet.
Yeah.
But dude, at this point, like anything's possible.
I just want to know, like, what is the boxing of that thing's going to be like, and the price. Because I go back and forth. At one point I was thinking like, yeah, maybe $1,400, but the more I think about it, I'm like, damn, with the size and inflation and shipping and everything, maybe a little more, maybe 18. Maybe they're still trying to work that out.
Yeah, they are. I think it's going to come in multiple boxes. I think it's going to come in parts and pieces, and there will be some assembly you're going to have to do. It's not going to be just one giant piece.
Yeah.
No. Well, the thing is, too, with Hot Toys, they have the resources, and the tooling to do exactly just that, right? Like, what I suspect will happen is you'll get a box. It's not going to be a 6-foot box. The wings, maybe the tail end, they're not going to be attached. They'll be in slided pieces of styrofoam, and then like I said, because they have the manpower and the resources, it's easy for them to create something that could be easily snapped together without you even seeing this. You know what I'm saying?
The seams and everything.
Yeah. So I don't really find that too out there, to be honest with you. I think it's a very likely possibility. They keep showing it off. They showed it off at Summer Showcase. They showed it off at San Diego. I mean,
yeah,
one could argue
it's going to happen for sure. It's just a matter of when. You know, it's gonna happen.
Like, how many times did they show off the Millennium Falcon cockpit?
Gosh,
Was that two?
times.
I think it was 2. It was like 2. I know it was at 2 San Diego.
But it was like a separate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
They were a
Like,
couple years apart from what I remember when they actually showed it.
But the Starfighters like back to back.
But they never did I mean, come on, they did a sizzle reel of it. You know, they didn't do that.
I mean, they actually put in work to like advertise that a little bit. But I mean, I'm still skeptical, man. To me, it's just too damn big. You know, I just don't see them releasing anything that massive. You know, especially a vehicle. But at the same time, they are doing the bark speeders. But it's a speeder. It's still pretty damn big, man. When I saw it over there at Celebration. But the ATRT, I think it's called. I think
we're gonna see that September 3rd.
I'd be surprised if we see that too, man.
Yeah.
You don't think it will happen? I think we're gonna see it next week.
It's big, dude. It's big because it barely the top of their panels, man. It stretched like about right there to the very top, and those panels are pretty tall.
Oh wow.
So it's like a good 24 inches, maybe. I think it was. I'm just guesstimating.
Yeah,
but it probably seen something about that height.
Well, I think either way, we're getting something new on the 3rd of September. Star Wars.
Oh, absolutely.
Or probably Riva. If I'm a betting man, I'm putting my money on Riva.
I mean, maybe because they tease her, right? But I don't. I want to think that they won't show anything that they've teased.
If you look at the theme, it's kind of like Obi-Wan centric a little bit.
Yeah.
You know. So I can see, if anything, Riva, might be announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riley saying Attack of the Clones Wave 2, maybe?
Yeah, but
I doubt it, though.
I think they would. Yeah. Right. I think they would have branded it Attack of the Clones Wave 2 or something to give us, because they did say that there was another wave coming. So I don't know particularly, right? I don't particularly know. For those of you who are just tuning in, John will be joining us probably about a half hour. So we're just we're just talking about, the Star Wars event that's happening in Japan on the 3rd right now. And no, I mean, yeah, Riva probably, yeah, but I think we need to see like a couple of you know what I'm saying? Like we need a few figure announcements. Because
what else would you guys want to see?
Well, anything OT personally.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, right. But I feel like if they're doing that event in Japan, why just show Riva? Like, and it's not even about the character. It's just that we already know that one's probably coming. We're gonna probably find that on we're gonna see that announced on like a Thursday night anyway. So because this is an event at the store, right? They're making this big hoopla. So I feel like
there's going to be something substantial with what's going to be released at the event, because the characters figures that you already know they're going to be coming out, following certain lines and all that, what they normally do. Yeah, there's going to be something other than like an Obi-Wan character that should be dropping at this event.
I like what Collector Chris is saying with the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. Hasbro's already doing it. They're already announcing stuff for the 40th anniversary, so I would appreciate that.
That would, but I don't know if they're going to talk about that right now. Right?
Because it's early. It is early.
Yeah. Because I mean, they didn't. Yeah, well, maybe because they didn't talk about like Attack of the Clones until this year. You know what I'm saying?
20th anniversary. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish they would do it like a year behind, right? Like in the 19th year, because it'll be coming out on the 20th anniversary.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That'd be nice if they thought ahead like that. That would
make better sense. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Basically. My man Sean Smith with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my man. He says last year, Back to the Future 2 car. Then 3 weeks later, they dropped on pre-order. They're going to do the same on the N1 Starfighter. Well, thank you so much, my man. Yeah, I'm thinking so. Personally. I don't see why they wouldn't do it at this point.
They've got everybody talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what happens when you make a scissor reel and then you show it off at 2 conventions. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Ignore it?
Yeah, but how many times have they shown off things that they haven't released yet too? So that's why for me it's something so big. I mean, not just physically, but in the sense how they're getting into like a fuller scale or larger vehicle, a freaking ship, for that matter. Because then, what's the next step? Could they do an X-wing after that? You know, who's to say that they couldn't? So, I don't know. That's why I'm just still scared. I'll believe it when I see it.
Where they were showing prototypes of like 6-scale TIE fighters and all that.
Yeah, they did show off a 6-scale TIE fighter.
They did a TIE fighter. I think they did a TIE interceptor too one year, and those things are massive, man.
They're huge.
Those things are like insanely huge.
But if there's a market for it, you gotta damn well believe that they're looking into it.
Those are the 1%ers, bro.
The 1%ers, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah, would you buy it?
Would I buy it? Would I buy it? Nope. No, sir. No, it's too big, man. It's too big to enjoy. You know, I would rather if I'm gonna get something with that large, I wouldn't get anything that big.
And they did, yeah.
Space for it.
We did show off that Falcon before.
Just buy them and turn them into nightstands.
Really, huh?
Yeah, we could. We definitely could. Yeah, somebody was going to say it. I didn't say it, but Feezy got you on that one.
Oh.
So, yeah. No, I don't know, man. I mean, I think it's in their wheelhouse, man. It's definitely in that realm.
Yep.
Well, what else could it lead to?
I mean, what do you mean exactly?
Well, and I think the X-Wing, like I said, the X-Wing is the next logical step, but do you guys think they can go beyond that? You think we can start seeing sections of the Falcon possibly being released?
I don't know about sections.
I could see sections. I could see like certain interior sections being made, like the cockpit, and then the common area where they got like the hollow chess table and all that. You know, where where Obi-Wan is training Luke and they're sitting watching. I could see them doing that. I could see them doing basically diorama set. What
if they just release it piece by piece? You know, some of those mail-in kits where they just sent you a little part of it, and then
but then it would take us like it'd be like 6 years till we had that shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And
how long have some of us been collecting?
Granted,
I've been collecting for about that long.
I know, but geez, man, that's like the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah. But think about it though.
I'll be like 50 by the time that whole game's done. You know what I'm saying?
But then also you'd be like other people, like was it Denobi? He's stuck with an unbuilt starship from
Eagle Moss. They went under.
Yeah.
You know.
Bummer.
I think if anything, the cockpit though definitely. I mean, because they've already done it. You know, if they did a pre-order, showing what they showed years, all those years ago, and just put up a pre-order, that's money in the bank. People would buy that like it ain't nothing. I would buy it, and I have the Jazz Inc. I have the Jazz Inc. one, and I would still buy that one. Don't know what I'm doing with the Jazz Inc. one, but
what you do is you
put the sequel figures in there.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
You can put like Ray Han and Chewie.
No.
Yeah,
something thin.
What is it? Take Han's clothes off, put it onto
Lando.
There you go.
That works too.
That would work in clutch with the ideas, man.
Hell yeah, man. No, that would be good. But no, I don't think it's like if they drop an N1 and it's successful, that opens the doors. Then we may actually get that Anakin Starfighter. You know what I'm saying? Then we may get I don't know if we'd get an X-wing or a Y-wing or an A-wing or.
But if that does,
there's got to be a limit on size.
If that does actually drop, we do get the pre-order soon. In the current pre-ordering climate that we're in right now, do you guys pre-order or do you guys wait?
We pre-order it. We pre-order it. Like if it's a vehicle or exclusives, I think that's the rule I try to go by now because But I don't know though. At the same time, like I wouldn't maybe say pre-order. Okay, let me rephrase it. If it's an exclusive figure, I'll pre-order it. If it's a vehicle,
down payment.
I'll down payment, right? Because they're more expensive. Like for example, I am getting the DeLorean Mark II. I have not pre-ordered it. It's been up for pre-order for 6 months.
Yeah.
But we're in a community. If I see that bitch go blue screen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
then I'm getting on it. So, but ordinarily, I think a lesson had been learned from May and June and everything in July with the exclusives, and you got the clone troopers went pretty quick. Oddly enough, the Death Troopers are still available, and you can buy 2 at a time. But then Arena Fett was gone in less than 24 hours.
Yep.
Shout out to Joao in the stream.
Hey,
Got a couple questions. Saying, number 1, where is John? And number 2, why wasn't I invited for the stream?
Well, why don't you take that one, Mario?
Because Anthony didn't send the invite.
No, why are you just going to answer question number 2? You didn't answer question number 1.
Oh, my bad. Question number 1. Well, so Anthony screwed up on the time again. I'm gonna blame it all on you, bro.
I didn't screw it up.
There was a miscommunication between time zones, and apparently John will be on in about a half hour, so hopefully. So
yes,
here,
hopefully, my friend. And yeah, and I just didn't want it to be too crowded. It gets kind of crazy, and when we have John come on, I want to try to respect his time, and I know he doesn't have too much. So big panels are always kind of, but I think it was supposed to be here. Nah, man, it's not even the Arizona time zone. It's not. It's really not. Because I know my time zone doesn't change. But I said, okay, 6 p.m. my time, and he's like, great, that's 10 a.m. my time.
You're probably thinking that we already have daylight savings already.
He probably doesn't know that you see where I'm saying? Well, I don't know, though, because you and I are on the same time. It shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
When I say 6 p.m., whatever, miscommunications happen.
Yeah.
So in any event, I believe in 25 minutes or so. Otherwise, I'm going to rename this stream, and so
shooting the shit.
yeah, because we don't normally stream on Mondays at all. This was just because he's supposed to, this is the time he had available, so this is what we're doing. So, anyways, so yeah, I mean that's what we're talking about right now, guys. But I don't know, dude.
They're saying because Joel doesn't wear glasses, that's why he's not on the stream.
Oh yeah, no, dude, you need to have some glasses on, bro. That's funny, guys.
You bring him in with the glasses and the nose mustache, and there you go, man. You can
and there you go. Well, it's kind of helping me, man. My head's been all getting like crazy, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to wear my glasses. I don't normally wear them, so
you know that, bro.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course you do.
That's messed up what they did with him, man. They did him dirty with that. With the Sopranos figure that he got.
Oh yeah. That's true. No glasses. No, Jesus, man. Yeah, no, that is shitty, but I think he's getting it fixed, hopefully. So you know what I mean. But yeah, no, nothing really else has come out though this week, unfortunately. I mean, I know the Sideshow Clone Wars Obi-Wan and Anakin have shipped. I don't know if anybody in the chat has them, but I have not heard positive things about them.
No.
Thus far.
No.
Yeah, when I saw them at Celebration, man, I was like, no. I had them pre-ordered, man, and I felt bad for going back to canceling from, where I pre-ordered from my guy. And he was cool about it, because it's a mom and pop shop. So
yeah,
I don't want to do anybody wrong by that. So
it was just a
thankfully they were
bait and switch. It's just
really big time. You can see it in the paint apps, big time. And the material that they used, it looks like way different.
Way different.
Way different, dude. Like I don't really understand what's going on with that, man. Because it looked really awesome and then it didn't. Oh yeah, it's that pink drink, man. That dragon drink, bro.
Yeah. That dragon juice, huh?
Yeah, I like dragon fruit in general. I don't know if you guys have dragon fruit at all near, like in your grocery stores, or not.
Yeah, man.
Don't think so.
It's good.
I don't know.
Well,
Never mess with it.
Well, we're right next to ASU. Okay, so we have a lot of different cultures come here for school. So that's one thing I've noticed living around here is that because of such, like our grocery stores are very, very diverse in all sorts of fruits and vegetables. Like if I lived somewhere in the city, different part of the city or whatever, not near a college, and it's the regular, run of the mill fruits and veggies, but near us, and Sean knows because he's here with me. all sorts of fruits and veggies here, man, that you wouldn't nor or otherwise see. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I don't know what my point is to that, but yeah, dragon fruit's amazing.
Just
No,
the
that's
culture.
the point. Yeah, it's really cool, man. It's you know, and on top of that, we have like tons and tons of like mom and pop restaurants here that are from all different genres of food, all different cultures. Because again, we're here right next to the university, so there's some perks to it.
Anyone gonna catch Rogue One next week?
Possibly. Let me address Ashley Chase though really quick with the $5 super chat, my man. Thank you so much. He said the glasses gang. I'm blind. Can I join too? Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah. So, thank you, Ashley. I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, next week. So I don't know. That's a good question. Is it only
IMAX?
Is it only IMAX?
From what I understand. Yeah. Yeah. Best Arcade's going. I know Best Arcade's going. Mr. Bill Bro says, "Yep." Sean
Nice.
Smith,
That's cool. So a few people in chat have it.
Yeah.
Have dragon
Yeah,
fruit.
I'm meeting up with Calvin Williams II here in the chat. Yeah, we're gonna be meeting up and go check it out next weekend. So that'll be fun, man. Cool to hang out.
It's awesome.
I think it would be pretty cool to see in IMAX.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I saw it like when it came out. I think I saw it like about maybe 4 times in the theaters. You know, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again. You know, I really enjoy the theater experience. Even though, yeah, I can watch it at home on Disney Plus, but you know, to me, there's nothing that beats the theater atmosphere. You know.
Oh no, absolutely not. Especially when they bring back older stuff. Exactly. And Rogue One's not even that old, but you know what I mean. Like they brought back like Ghostbusters. They brought back Terminator. You know, Back to the Future, stuff like that. Like.
Saw that
my brother's never seen The Godfather, the original Godfather. We went to the movie theaters to go see it when they re-released it. I was like, dude, I freaking hate you right now, man. The fact that your first time seeing this freaking classic is in the theater. And he absolutely loved it when he got out. Suddenly, a bunch of culture references clicked for him because he got everything, that was mentioned in the movie, man. So, God, I love that movie.
That's
and to be able to see it in the theater for the first time, man, I'm so jealous.
Dude, that would be awesome, man. Because especially it's funny when people like that don't know and then they see it, right? Then they, like you said, they get the references. People always say these little jokes or
They're like, oh yeah, making off for your characters. Oh, okay. Oh, he sleeps with the fishes now. Oh, all right.
Right. Then you understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
it's amazing how much like certain phrases and sayings that everyone uses in their daily life has come from just movies and television especially from back then.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we do it all the
doubt.
time. I mean, even like Big Lebowski, I quote that all the time. Nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about, except those who just watched it. And I can't help it. Or like, Star Trek references or things like that. Or we just do that, right? We'll say Star Wars quotes too. We do it all the time here in chat or here on the panels, and people are like, "What the hell what does he mean?"
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and what about John coming through, man? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Well, we got like about 15 minutes. We got about 15 minutes, guys. Honestly, seriously, if he doesn't show up, my sincerest apologies. This was not intentional. So. This is not about Vietnam Mafia. Yeah, exactly, man. You know what's up, man? Oh, man. Exactly. That's Big Lebowski, man. I love that shit. I did not pick up the Sideshow dude, though.
Why not? Not feeling it, or what's going on?
I think I'm not feeling Sideshow figures.
I mean, you were kind of burnt on. You were burnt on some of your past ones, so I understand that.
Yeah. So like they used to be really good. Or I mean, I would never say they were like Hot Toys quality, but they were pretty damn good. And I feel like their quality has not been.
So I have 3 Sideshow figures. 3? I think it's 3. So I've got 3PO. 3PO's fine. I've got the R2 Deluxe when it first came out. Yeah. The display's nice, but it could be better. And I've got the Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger. It looks nice on the shelf, but the body's just like hella loose, man. But they display well. Freddy, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the droids are fine.
The upper torso.
Droids are fine.
Upper torso on the Freddy, yeah. But they're cool, man. They look all right. So when you see something like no one else is gonna do it, unless maybe you can ask John. See, hey man,
Yeah.
you got a big
Well,
Lebowski?
if he arrives, then
Yep, he
absolutely
shows up.
we will ask him.
Mhm.
You know, no, I wasn't. And to Sean's point is right. You know, I felt a little burnt a few times on my last few sideshow figures. So I was just like, you know, because I would like the dude. I would like to have a big Lebowski
Oh, yeah.
in here. You know, I would also like to maybe get the Crow that Sideshow's doing. You know, the Brandon Lee, particularly because he's got the cool hand with the bullet hole in it.
That's the quarter scale statue.
No, the
Human
6 scale
format?
figure that they're making.
Oh, they're doing a figure. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're doing a figure. It's, you know, the Hot Toys one's really good, but to, you know, maybe have 2 different versions would be kind of cool. But then I'm like, well,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm not sure. I am not sure.
Speaking of
You
get-
quarter
you
scale
get the Crow
statue, if I
vision.
may,
Yeah, go
Mhm.
ahead.
I got my Grail in on Sunday, man.
Ooh,
Freaking
what's
Iron,
that?
Iron Studios Darth Vader, bro. We got an unboxing on my channel coming up on Saturday night.
Ooh.
And I'm looking forward to that. Oh my gosh, dude. I've been waiting for this thing. This is like one of the things when I first started getting into the statue game. This caught my eye. I was like, yo, I got to get my hands on this somehow, but it's pricey.
Appreciate
You
it,
know?
Brent. Sorry, man.
So I found a decent deal on it, and you know, dude hooked me up, and it's here, man.
Well, so what's going to happen is that you're going to do the unboxing on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to push back Saturday night's live stream a little bit.
Yes, sir.
So, segueing into that note, Saturday night our Saturday night streams will be an hour later. So
Yeah.
check out Mario's channel for
Okay.
that unboxing prior.
Bro, I got 2 more statues I think coming in.
Heck,
this
man,
week,
if you
too,
push
man.
it
I
back
got
like
no
an
room for
hour or so
everything.
later, I might be able to join.
Oh, on Saturday?
Hey.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
because you start like right as soon as I'm about to close.
How unfortunate. You know,
I think you planned it that way. I think
No, I know.
did that on
I know.
purpose.
It was never planned that way. It was never planned that way. 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘. See, I can't say your name. I cannot say your name anymore. Mandalorian Huntress,
Right?
my dear.
It's the same thing. Same for me, dude.
𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘. My tongue rolls all crazy on it. My sideshow prototype Fett, Mythos Fett, and Deadpool don't have the best bodies, but the shelf presence is amazing. The
You see?
figure shelf presence is most important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you are right to that point. Like I still have my sideshow Deadpool, my comic book Deadpool.
That's a good figure.
Yeah.
Though. That's a real
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you get him posed up. He's classic 90s Rob Liefeld. He's got like 176 pouches on him and grenades and daggers. And you touch him and like the shit just falls off of him because they're so. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I've got
You know
a
what I'm
question.
saying. Yes.
Actually.
Mm.
Oh wow, tongue twister.
He knows. Anyway, your question. Sorry.
Evangelion. I want to address this question actually. What's Brother Cousins working on over there?
Oh.
What?
What you fidgeting with, bro?
Yeah.
What's
What are you
going
working on,
doing?
bro?
This is a little behind the scenes for tomorrow. Good morning, Grails. Yep. So I'm reboxing it to unbox it tomorrow. So
There you go.
little behind the scenes.
Wait. So you're reboxing it
Yep.
to unbox it tomorrow.
There you go. Yep.
Okay. And what figure is that again?
That's the Falcon from Civil War.
Nice.
Ooh.
Hold on. So again, you're reboxing it to unbox it tomorrow.
There you go. Yep.
Yes.
Sean, can you confirm that also?
Yeah, just making sure. Like, the reboxing it right now, so you
Yep.
can get that prepped for a show you're doing tomorrow morning, which is just going to be unboxing a figure
That's right.
that you're just reboxed right now.
There you go.
It checks out. It checks out.
Yeah.
All right. Just
You know,
making sure, man.
Listen, like,
just
so when
wanna,
I do, like, if I'm
Wanna
doing
make
some
sure
of my,
yeah.
I don't know, I was just saying, if I do some of my reviews, I don't even bother with the box. But Jay does it live.
Yeah.
So it's
you know,
cool.
it's to give the opportunity for the, we want to give the experience of opening the figure for the first time. So,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started Grails, it was about stuff that I was getting in at that. I would get it in. Like some of them, like for instance, last week we did Emperor Palpatine. That was a live unboxing. And you can see it was a live unboxing because it was some unexpected items that were in the box, like a bunch of hair, a bunch of human hair and dog hair and stuff like that in it. So yeah, rooted hair was for free.
Let's talk about that, man, because 130 in here. I don't know if any of you guys sell your figures, but there needs to be, I don't know, like common courtesy, right?
Absolutely.
Because I've had that. Right? Where like Jay, he's got a figure with a bunch of hair in it. Weird shit. Like if you guys are selling figures.
Like blue tack on the bottom of a boot.
Hey, you know what? I let her know.
Wow.
No, I did that one. But listen, this is
Her?
No. This is somebody on Macari. So Sean's trying to like jab me on this one. So I'll tell you. Okay, perfect example. No, I did. I sold. I don't know what the hell I sold, but there was a little bit of blue tack on the foot. Just a little bit.
Oh, wow.
That's not too bad though.
No. I sold it with a little bit of blue tack on the foot because I forgot that it was on there.
Yeah, that happens.
You know what I mean?
Not that bad.
Yeah, and so this girl on Macari gave me a 1-star rating and said there was gum on the bottom of the figure's shoe. And I messaged her. I was like, hey, that's blue tack. It's okay. You just kind of rub your thumb and it'll come right off. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. And then never fixed I don't know if they can fix the rating on Macari, but I have an otherwise unblemished, perfect 5-star record. And then I got this 1 star that's forever there saying there was gum on the bottom of the figure's foot. And I'm like, nah, man, I pride myself in repacking. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to, if you're selling figures, just, be courteous.
Shout out to Sean too, man, for not mentioning about the blue gum that I had on the bottom of the RoboCop feet, bro. Appreciate that, man.
You're welcome.
Or unless you need to double check.
Did you have blue tack on it?
No.
Oh, so what, he just trying to jab at me some more or what?
Maybe. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know either. Listen, it doesn't matter. But the point is that
you should give that experience of unboxing a new figure to the person that you're selling it to.
Yeah,
these are works of art. You want to make it. You want to make it a good experience. You don't want to be oh man.
And that's why I keep all the plastic wraps and everything, man. I try what I can just to make it as like fresh as possible with the wraps around the legs, the waist, the arms, the head, the neck, everything, man. I keep all that shit, dude.
One of the best.
Ask Sean, he'll tell you.
One of the best compliments is people will send me a message back and be like, damn, I thought you said this was used. This looks new.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah. Yeah, I've gotten that a few times too.
Well, yeah, because we all like when we get figures. And when you open them up, you don't want to see it all like janky and like, whatever. Like to be fair, like I do my best to put all the plastic back on, but sometimes I'm sure you guys know in the chat, like those plastic wraps on the boots.
Oh my God, they're horrible.
Yeah,
they're horrible.
Right? Sometimes I'm just shred the shit. I'm like, dude, I can't.
I just cut them off with scissors.
Nah, like I have my knife, and usually I'll try to use my knife and kind of wedge in there and cut the tape. But sometimes it's just like, what the hell?
I just try to get a pair of tweezers, lift up the tape a little bit, try to find the end. If I can't find it, then I'll go ahead and take a blade and just slice through it, and then just refurb it with a fresh piece of tape, with a pull tab, mind you. So it just makes it easier for the next.
Make it easier for them, yeah. That would be good. That would be good. But no, that's just a good thing though, right? Like you got, and I'm sure some people in the chat have bought figures from me, so they can attest.
Wow, Marco's calling me out, bro.
Damn. Oh, Marcos.
I sold him my baby, dude, and he's over here saying that I sold him a battle damage Mark 46. How dare you, sir? It's just a chest, right. All right. That's how the figure came, bro.
No, that's funny, man. That is funny. Yeah, dude, I don't know, man, but there's something about it, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, just going into my room after waking up, opening up a case and smelling that new figure smell.
Yeah.
Better than a cup of coffee. Well, I don't know about that one, but it's damn close. It's damn close.
Yeah. Best Arcade, man. The way you work out, you drink coffee, bro?
Coffee's good for you, man.
Yeah, I don't know if a man like that would put something like that in his body. I'm just saying.
Coffee?
Coffee, yeah, man.
You imply that it's not good.
Well,
No, it tastes good. It may not be good for you in the amount of quantities.
There are tons of information on the internet that coffee is beneficial to you, man.
Not in the quantity you drink.
Dude, there's no such thing as a limit. What?
Have you tried to kick coffee?
Maybe if it's coffee
No.
without 7 pumps of sugar.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're drinking just regular sugar. If you're drinking regular coffee,
try to go without coffee for a week, bro.
Dude, I did. Sean knows. I went 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I did. I said, you know what? Let me just drink decaf. So I bought a bag of decaf coffee. I drank decaf for 6 days. I had a migraine for 6 days.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I'm serious. I mean, like, go to sleep, wake up, same migraine. I was not a joy to be around. You just don't come near me. I was snappy. I was rude. That's pretty much me. But you know what I mean? Like, I was like amplified.
It was like when you gave up cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tough. So back to caffeine, bro. That was okay. And then the migraine was gone. Imagine. So I don't really know. Anyway, guys. So still waiting to. Okay, John read my message. That's progress.
That's a good sign.
Follow up.
Yep, I am. Okay, cool.
4 minutes.
Yes, so that's good. So John should be here shortly. This has been an interesting little conversation though, about various things. Coffee can suppress hunger. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you are right. That's usually, God honest, reason why I drink a lot of coffee.
So can water.
Water kind of can.
Because I'm not a coffee drinker at all, bro.
Bro, speaking of, dude, look at this thing I got today.
There you go.
Full coffee?
Yeah, boy, let's roll. No, it's full of water, but I got some stickers. So nice. I'm gonna put some stickers. Yeah, I got some stickers. I got some stickers.
Is that
from
not
everybody.
Like the old one you had that was like connected to your phone?
No, that one's kind of neat though.
Yeah, everybody's flexing with their water bottles now.
Yeah. Well, I have it near me.
Water is life.
There you go. No, water. Yeah, exactly. Water is life. Yeah, coffee helps you poop. Big Bretta's right. No, it can be. It can be. Oh, you're drinking Death Wish, huh, AJ? Yeah, that stuff's hardcore. No, the water. I wanted a big water bottle because I have stickers, my own stickers for the channel, which, by the way, we do have the merch store. Check it out if you guys want to get some stuff. And I got stickers from other content creators, so I was going to put a bunch of stickers on my water bottle of everybody's. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Plus, dude, I have a small water bottle, man. It's like 13 ounces or something.
That didn't look small to me, bro.
No, my old one. This one's 64 ounces. This is 64 ounces.
I was gonna say, man, damn.
Yeah. So in that respect, I was like, I don't have to keep filling it up as frequent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
we gotta get. Yeah, Sean is saying we gotta get John off his coffee break and get his ass in the show.
I'm working on it right now, guys. He checked out the message, so hopefully he should be here shortly. Those of you who are just tuning in, we should be having John on from InArts here shortly to discuss some InArts.
He's like, oh shit, that was the night. Oh man.
Yeah, so I'm keeping an eye out right now. He should be coming in shortly. Fingers crossed, everybody. If not, 1,000 pardons for maybe wasting everybody's time. But it happens. It happens. Rub 303 all over every morning. I have skin tighter than a Fison.
Oof.
Oh wow. Ooh.
Okay.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, Bob.
Sexy.
Hey, you know what?
Whatever keeps them looking young.
Without further ado.
Hey, there he is.
Hey.
Hi guys.
What's up, man? Do we have a miscommunication?
So he said 10 China time, right?
Well, you said 10 China time.
Oh, okay.
I said
Yeah,
6
10
p.m. and you were like, yeah, that's 10 my time. And I was like, oh, cool. And then I was,
John, don't worry about it, man.
It's totally okay.
It's still Mafia's fault over here, bro. Don't
yeah,
worry.
we're gonna,
You actually came in with 1 minute to spare, so you're good, bro. It's all we blame it all on Anthony here.
You
So
did
don't worry
actually.
about
That is
Sorry
freaking
about that,
hilarious.
yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I was like,
Anthony was just excited.
well, no, and then I looked and I was like, yeah, he did say 10 his time, but I was like, it's 9 right now over there. So it's like, oops. So it's okay. It is totally all right.
man.
Yeah. So we appreciate you
Maybe
coming on.
Maybe I made a miscalculation on the.
It could have been me. Could have. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. As long as we're here celebrating together, that's all. That's all that matters, man. So that's very cool. I think you may have met everybody here already.
Yep. Yeah, I think so.
I think so, man. So, well, gosh. Well, how are you?
Yeah, all good. Just really busy the last few weeks, especially with the Batman pre-order and Queen Studios have got a lot going on. So very busy. Hopefully planning some more events later this year. So
Awesome.
yeah, just busy.
How are the pre-orders going out there?
So far so good, I believe. Yeah, they don't really say too much about it until it's all finished. So I think so far the response has been good. There's still a lot of questions about the cape. In particular. So that's one of the things they're looking into right now. And we can't announce just yet if we're going to make changes or what changes there'll be. But they are looking into it just like we did with the Gandalf stuff before. So they just right now they're reading through all the comments, checking everything, and they're trying to see what we can change if there is anything, if we do.
Is there any confirmation on what kind of materials are being used for the cape? If it's actual leather or?
They didn't answer me just yet because the other day they were working on the post. So we shared like a 2-part blog post over the weekend. So they were working through all that. And they didn't actually mention the material of the cape in there. Usually we wouldn't go for pleather, but they didn't mention what material it would be. So I'll make sure we get that answer, and I think they'll give you an update at the same time we share any more details about any changes to the length. So if we do change the length, we'll probably announce all in one go, so that everyone can see it rather than miss it.
Is it going to be like a wiring system in the cape to pose it or anything like that in it?
Yeah. So the bottom of the cape, I believe, should have like a wire so that you can pose it in different angles, pose it how you want to pose it. So that's what I've been told so far. I think the same with the coat. The coat should have like a small wire in it as well, so that it could be posed as well.
Okay.
How has the feedback been with with separating the 2-pack now? I remember previously we were, some collectors were asking, well, why'd you put the rooted, the 2-pack together? Now that you've broken them up and essentially introduced another SKU, how's the reception been?
A lot better this time. There's not really been much mention about the different editions. So we've gone for, to me it seems a little bit much, but we've gone for like 5 different, but it just gives people more options. So they're not tied into buying 2 at the same time. But there's been no questions about that. I think most people are happy. Most of the questions so far have been about the cape. So that's definitely something we're looking
the cape. It was the staff, and now it's the cape. But the staff has been remedied. So I do have a super chat though, really quick, from Ant-Man's Collectibles, and he's wondering if you guys will be doing any Ant-Man stuff for Quantum Mania. I assume he's saying Queen Studios.
The InArts side, we wouldn't be able to do it yet. We spoke to Disney earlier this year, and they said that they'll give it some time before they ever consider working with us with the InArt brand, so which makes sense. They've already got a lot of partners, so we wouldn't be doing any Ant-Man with the InArt brand, but with the statue brand, maybe in the future. Right now, there's nothing in our line plan for the next year or so.
Okay.
So nothing right now.
Nothing yet. Yep. Okay. Good to know. You had mentioned, I kind of want to bring this up actually, since we were talking about it. I got the pictures here, right, that you guys had put out, and you're saying, so we have essentially 5 SKUs, right?
Yeah, there's 5 different versions essentially, yeah.
Right, so the difference here, obviously, right? So we've got the sculpted hair on this one.
Yep.
And then the rooted, right? And then the same as well, right? We've got just this sculpted version here of Batman, and then the rooted, and then the all in, right? The all in has everything, and then the bat signal.
Yep.
And from what I read, I believe if I understand correctly, the bat signal is also sold separately, right?
Yeah, I believe you can buy it separately, but if you go for the all in, I think it would be included within that. Right,
including the all in, right? But just having that option. So do you think? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say. So if you ordered the regular Batman with sculpted hair or with rooted hair, you could then essentially also order the bat signal as like an additional purchase. You don't have to go for the all-in option. So that's what we mean by it's sold separately. So if you go for all-in, you get everything on that image. But if you just want to get the bat signal on one Batman or the bat signal and Bruce Wayne, you could do it that way. You can mix and match.
Okay, that's not bad. So that gives people some options here. I do have a $2 super chat here from Bob Dylan. He says, "Thanks for coming, John. Is Mira still happening?"
I sort of advised that maybe we should not do that, based on how things went last time on the trial, and the general feedback for the character and the actress. So I can't remember if we took it out of the line plan. So we did submit our line plan for 2023 to Warner Brothers very recently, and we're going to speak with them about more opportunities to expand our licensing as well. Hopefully that can happen. We'll see. But I can't remember if we left Mira in or not. I'd have to check that and get back to you.
Okay. Wow. You know, I noticed there's a couple of other things I was wondering too. And if you guys have some questions, obviously feel free here in a moment. But regarding the bat signal, right, like that you mentioned, do you happen to know the dimensions of it? Is it quite large? Is it kind of, or is it made out of metal, for example, too?
I should have asked that before I joined. I can't remember the dimensions and the material.
Because it looks.
I did see a lot of questions about that in the comments, so we can definitely answer that in a separate post. Or clear it up on the blog post. We can add more details about the dimensions and materials. I know that it's got a light up feature and it should be to scale, so it should basically be scaled down, but I'm not sure to what scale it should be, and the exact dimensions, so I can't really answer that right now.
Okay, but it should be maybe 6th scale version, essentially is what you're saying. Like it's
be.
Okay.
It should be, but I'm not sure how they've done it. I'll have to. What I'll do is I'll make sure that we update the blog post. So that blog post that we created, we'll keep that as like a live site essentially. So we'll just update it as the information comes through.
Right, just kind of like a dev update. Like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because that would help. Because I read the blog update. I think a lot of people here probably have as well. Was there a second blog update that I think was there for the Batman side of things that may not have been translated yet?
So the way that they did it is that on Chinese social media, they have basically, it's a really long image and it's a really long post. And then they sent it to us last week, and it just takes a long time to translate and get everything resized for the overseas social platforms and our blog. So we finished that over the weekend. We published the Batman version first, which just tells you all about the Batman, and then also the Bruce Wayne. The bat signal we'll add to both blog posts so it's clear, but the bat signal information is on the Bruce Wayne blog post, which we can repost again once we update them.
Gotcha.
That sounds good. Did go ahead, Mario. I was going to say,
John,
did you guys?
Yeah, man. I was just curious. Are there any plans to release like any companion figures to go with the Batman? I know a few friends of mine and a few other fellow collectors are actually asking for the Selina Kyle Catwoman. Actually, I'm wondering if anything like that it might be in your guys' plans in the future.
Yeah, it could be. Could very well be. At the moment, I know that it's not in this year's plans because we're reaching September now, and there's only like 3 or 4 months left of the year, and that schedule's packed. So if we do have some companion pieces, it'll probably be some point next year.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are on the fence about picking up the Batman, I'm just having the Batman, right? You know, by himself. I know that's a lot of people, like Mario was saying, are really clamoring for a Catwoman. You know, at the very least, you know, if, and I didn't know if that's something that, you know, are these beginning lines, are they, or what I should say is, when a figure comes out like, so this, right, this IP is the Batman 2022, then you have, and I know we talked about Lord of the Rings, that there will be additional figures, but for the most part, with a lot of the IPs, are they going to be just kind of one-off, or like a beginning, right, a beginning of a IP essentially? So if we have the Batman, does that mean this is going to continue in this IP, rather, is what I'm saying, or are we just, certain figures may just be one-offs?
Certain figures may be one-offs, but I know for the Lord of the Rings that we're looking at more of the Fellowship. I'm not sure how many right now. I've seen a few in the list, and we've released a few already. With June, that license, there'll only be 2 or 3. I don't think, because there's just not as many popular characters. With Batman from the Dark Knight trilogy, I know we've got the Joker already, and we've got the Batman planned. Maybe another Selina Kyle down the line. And then with this franchise, the new Batman, I think right now, from what I've seen in the line plan, this is a standalone. But usually what they'll do is next year, based on demand and what people are asking, they can make adjustments. So I think the initial plan is to start with Batman and see how things go. And because this is a fairly new movie, whereas the Dark Knight trilogy, it's been around for over a decade, and it's just so well loved. We already know who's popular, who people like.
Right. And again, and I've said that on my streams as well, that let's not forget that this Batman is supposed to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? As the time goes by, we're going to see other versions, new characters. Just kind of like you're saying with Dark Knight. Dark Knight's been out for so long that we already know its popularity.
Yeah.
John, I'm curious to know, are there any reason why these more close-up photos were actually dropped later on in the second post rather than the initial post? Because, you know, some of the reactions were like, I wish we could like zoom in closer. But these photos, like pretty much when I was streaming, you know, when the photos dropped, a lot of people in my stream just like changed their minds and say, okay, they're pretty much sold now on the InArts Batman compared to the competitors.
Yeah, I think the issue we have is just the timing of approvals. So we're trying to work to our sales schedule for the year. We've announced what figures we want to make. So we sort of have to get things moving. And sometimes the official images take time to get approved. Everything we make has to get approved by Warner Brothers DC. Yeah. So I think the initial batch got approved first, and we wanted to just get started because there's other 6-scale figures we also want to release, and also we still want to share updates on the Joker in the next few months. So we want to hit our deadlines. So I think we started with the initial information first, and then dropped the second batch later, and more information will come through as well. I know it's not ideal for collectors, but there is a longer window to pre-order. So if you're undecided in the first week or 2, there's still time. So that's why we've been a little bit more patient with this one.
Now I'm seeing a lot of different swap out parts here, and I'm just curious to know: will it be peg based system, or is everything going to be magnetic for the swap outs? Are the head sculpts? Will those be on a peg, or will they be magnetic?
Should be magnetic. So we haven't really mentioned that too much this time, and we have done on our previous ones. That's because in general we just prefer magnets to our figures, just because of the issues with pegs. We've seen a lot of consumer feedback about the pegs. A lot of people complaining online how to fix it, that kind of thing. With magnets, it's going to reduce a lot of those problems. So generally we'll stick to magnets. If that changes, we'll announce it. So they haven't announced it, so in this case it should be magnets. So
the heads should also be?
Yeah. So from the proposals I've seen, the inside, like underneath the head, there's like a small it's like a peg, but then it's a magnetic underneath, and it just connects in to the top of the torso.
So would underneath So is it the head or the neck? Because my question is, if you attach a magnetic head, surely it can rotate like left and right, but are we going to be able to up and down? You know, are we fully be able to rotate and articulate?
Okay. Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Neck, yeah, it's the neck that is. Yeah, I should have explained it as the neck. The neck on the bottom has the magnet. Maybe it can move up and down. I've not asked that question yet. No one's asked, so it should do. But the bottom of the neck is where the magnet is.
Okay, because that's going to be that could be a deal breaker for a lot of people. You know what I mean? I just thought like if you know what I'm saying, if it can only go left and right, just horizontally, we need because especially if you know. A lot of people love posing, so you know if they wanted maybe someone's on the ground and you're like looking down, or you know what I mean. If you can't do that, that's kind of something that I think we'll definitely need to get figured out here. But real quick, Bob Dylan here, super chat says, "Will the Batman have solid or split cut boot?" And that is a good question. I was looking at those photos, and it looks like it's split cut.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure on that. They haven't mentioned the boots in particular. Again, that's something that we could update directly on the blog.
Okay, yeah, if we can, because I was looking at some of the pictures on the back side, and it definitely looks like the boot is separate. So I just want to make sure. But if we don't know at the moment, definitely we'll have to definitely update the the blog post. You know, these are the types of things that collectors definitely want. They want to be able to, as far as the neck goes, fully be able to rotate 360 degrees. Split cut boots are going to be awesome because that's the biggest problem I think a lot of people have is the posability, right? Now, I don't know. I know we talked about the Joker earlier with his articulation. But I'm curious, are all figures going to have the same kind of points of articulation system? I mean, is it a standard, like, when we have other companies, all bodies are basically the same. We know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, I mean, how posable can we be? I mean, are they more statue-ish limited, or can we actually do a bunch of different unique poses?
You should be able to pose them. That's what we've been told. I have asked about how many points of articulation, and they didn't answer an exact amount just yet. But they said that they're fully posable.
Fully posable. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to know, are they single jointed or double jointed?
They didn't answer that question from last time. That's something we need to answer as well. Yeah, I did see a question about. There's a little bit of the information's dripping out from the company. So the advantage that the other companies have got is that they've had years and years to basically get all of the material together and update everyone. Whereas with each figure, what we're doing is each figure is completely different. So they're not using the same bodies, same torsos. Everything is uniquely designed for each figure. So there's slight variations with each one. There's certain commonalities, like we'll be using the magnets, that kind of thing, but there'll be slight differences with maybe range of motion, that kind of thing. So each figure, even down to the body, the size of the body is all sculpted itself. So each one's slightly more unique.
And I would imagine that, especially if you look at Hot Toys or other companies, that sometimes they have the standard bodies or they have different body types depending on, whatever figure that they're doing. But collectors coming in, those are the types of questions that people are going to want to know because, again, like you were saying, just starting out, you guys are doing a lot of unique things that other people aren't doing, but people are still going to. I'll say that they're going to expect that all the stuff they're already used to, right?
Yep. And
then some. So I know some of these questions sound kind of, oh, well, is it articulated? Is it double joint? Because that's what people are used to. So they want to know, hey, I know what I'm getting into. I'm comfortable in this environment, and now there's even other new innovations that you guys are doing on top of it, rather than, oh, well, some of these innovations are really cool, but what I'm used to is severely lacking, for example, right? Because then it's going to be counterintuitive, if that makes sense,
Yeah, that makes sense because you guys are the primary audience, the primary collectors. You guys know these collectibles inside out, and our team does. But for new people within the company, we're all learning about it as well as we go, because there's so many different aspects compared to a statue or compared to other things. I know that a lot of feedback from people is generally they tell us that the figure collector base is different to statue collector base, and we understand that. And actually, what the InArts team now, the long-term plan is we're going to separate the brands between Queen Studios and InArt, and they're just going to be completely managed separately, and they're going to hire in more and more people to manage the InArt brand. So as time goes on, everything will clear up. And I think the proof will be within a month or two. We're expecting to see the first production sample of the Joker. And I think once you see that, once you see that, it's going to start to clear up a lot of these questions. And as you mentioned with the Batman, why did we release the images in two different ways? Because we're working right up until the deadline. So that's why the information is dripping out. So it's dripping out to us. The guys that are designing it know everything inside out, but then there's the information's like dripping out.
Right. So it just trickles down, right? When they're ready to share that kind of information. Yeah, because I was telling you, I was like, man, I made a video on my channel about the Batman. I got really excited, and then I was like, damn it, there's all these new photos close up. I could have used if I waited.
It worked out for me.
It worked out for you, right? It worked out for you. Real quick before I get to some of the panel here, as I'm sure you guys also have some questions, Jay and Sean. But Austin here, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, any updates on the Harry Potter line? Richard Harris, Dumbledore. I know you said it was Philosopher's Stone.
I think it would be in Q1 next year, and we're also planning on something unique with the Harry Potter line as well. So there's a new sort of series coming out within the InArt wheelhouse, and I can't say too much right now, but it's supposed to be something quite unique and special. So we're going to release that next year as well. We're still
and that's like Harry Potter related?
Yep.
Ooh. Okay. Cool. And then real quick, Jerry, my man, one of our channel members celebrating 4 months of membership, says, any chance that within the InArt brand, you will be making anything anime related?
Not just yet. So in terms of like the anime manga world, we've got a 6-scale statue that we're going to release this week. So we do have these licensing partnerships in place. So in terms of 6-scale figures, it won't be this year. It'd be probably towards the middle to end of next year if we do. We do have 2 global licenses coming up for the InArt brand that I've been working at. It's not manga or anime related, but that just reminded me that, we'll be able to announce those in the next few months. And that's something I've been working on. So hopefully it's a...
Oh, so you know firsthand.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, so my area is mostly on the licensing side of things at the moment. So
you have 2 global licenses?
Yeah, 2 global licenses.
And you can't give us any hints, or?
Because of contracts, we're not allowed to say until a certain date. So
not even if it's like from television or movie?
Popular culture is what we can say.
Well, that's everything.
And you just nod your head if we're close.
Right. Blink twice if it's for TV. No, I'm kidding. I totally understand how that works. So, but that's really interesting then. So, did you say you're working on it, or you have obtained global license for those 2 properties?
So basically,
oh no!
And there you have it.
He's being force choked. No!
I pushed him too far, guys. They cut him off. No, are you back? Are you back, John? You lagged out.
With the contracts are with us now. We should be signing within the next week or 2, and then it's done. Then we just need to.
Okay.
We already started the development. We need to start. We need to finalize the deal contractually.
Dang. So when you say global, then that means you don't have. Then you can have United States retailers officially distribute those global licenses, correct?
Yep, correct.
Okay. Ooh. That is going to be pretty exciting then. Jay, did you have anything in mind as well?
Yeah, going back to release, that's real exciting to hear that you're getting that production sample pretty soon. That's going to be awesome. So I got 2 questions. The first one would be with that production sample coming out, are we still on board with getting the first batch shipped out towards the end of the year? And my second question, before you answer that one, the second one is box art. What could we expect from like box art and the whole presentation? Like, how would these figures be? How would they be presented? How would they look? The box art and all that stuff. Because with other companies, you know, they do their DX lines or whatever. They're a little elaborate with the price that people are paying for InArt figures. Of course, they're getting a great figure, but also, you know, the art box. You know, me being a graphic designer, art box is a part of the product as well. So
it's part of the experience, right?
Exactly. So, like, yeah, what do you guys have planned? What kind of can we expect to see anything elaborate or, you know, standard for that?
Yes. So in terms of are we on schedule so far? I've been told that Viper will be going to the factories this week to check in on everything, and we have an event planned in Shanghai in September, all being well, as long as there's no shutdowns or any lockdowns. And then we also have Thai Comic Con coming up this year, and we might not be attending NYCC, but we might have a small event in the US. And we'll hopefully, the plan is by the end of September, October time, we'll take those samples on the road and get people to take more photos, see them in person, test everything out, and then they can give their feedback. So that's looking like we're on track right now for that.
Awesome.
And then in terms of the art boxes, so the presentations that I've seen when I've spoken with Warner Brothers, the team has specifically pitched themselves, and we're putting ourselves down as a fine art company, essentially. So what we mean by that is there's a reason why there's premium prices, and we're using the high quality materials because we want everything to be like the top end aesthetically.
The whole package, basically.
Exactly.
Foam packaging and everything.
Yep. So even down to the box, everything should be the best quality. And in terms of the art design, they've talked about specific designs for each package to have like its own art box as well. That's really important for the team.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Very exciting. Very exciting.
I have 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘 here celebrating 6 months of channel membership. Thank you so much, my dear. She says, the alien bust is incredible, which it is, John. I think we all need free samples. Any chance
Absolutely.
of Alien and Ripley InArt figures in the future?
So we're hoping to speak with the guys at Fox directly. We've spoken with Disney a few times, and we just need to speak with those guys and see if there's any possibility. With Marvel right now, there's no possibility, but with other Disney sub-brands like Fox, and below there's Alien, and there's lots of Predator, there's lots of other movies.
Predator.
We're hoping to work with those guys on those licenses as well.
Okay.
But right now we can't say yes because it's not happened, or we're not even in discussion, but we're doing our best to make that happen.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you very much for the question. Bob Dylan with the super chat as well says, Dune Paul is in military dress or still suit?
Should be the still suit, but I'm not sure if they're going to do like a two-piece or not. I'm not sure what the plan is just yet. I think that one's been delayed a little bit. The initial plan was to be around this time of year, but I think we're pushing it back a little bit towards the end of this year. So we'll see.
Okay. Good to know. And Evangelium says, also for super chat, thank you so much, says, hello, John. Can we expect Gandalf the White?
Ooh.
Yes, I think that's likely, but not anytime soon. I think we want to release a few more of the other characters from the Lord of the Rings, from the Fellowship first, and then we'll revisit Gandalf a little bit later down the line.
Okay. And I just got a couple more chats here to get through really quick. He almost says, any possibility for Dr. Fate from Black Adam?
At the moment, we're working on Black Adam, and I know that's something we want to get across as soon as possible, get across the line, so that it times similar to the movie release. So in terms of Dr. Fate and some of the other characters, I haven't seen anything on the line list just yet, but we'll start with Black Adam first and then take it from there.
So that's what I was wondering as well, is like, going back to the Batman, right? Like being a new franchise or, new property, is it just, that's what people are wondering, right? If it's going to be like the main character and then that's it, or, well, we'll at least do the main character, right? Batman, Black Adam, and then go from there and see what the demand and popularity is, etc. Right? Essentially.
Yep. Yeah, essentially. And also what we'll do is, as the more figures we sell, the more we'll build the team up, and the more we can build the team up, the more we can add other figures to our line list, and we'll be able to meet that demand. Right now, we're trying to take things a step at a time, focus on the characters that we know is quite popular, and then work from there.
Okay. Good to know. I do appreciate that. And Christian Detour Collectors also celebrating 2 months of channel membership. Thank you so much, my man. He says Apple Series C. There's a television show called C. Jason Momoa, any possibility?
Maybe not. Just because the Apple series, really, there's no real Apple TV in China. So usually how it works is we need to get the license for our domestic market first, and then expand overseas. So a lot of these licenses, we approach the Chinese side and then expand globally. So as there's no Disney Plus over here, there's no Apple TV, those licenses, even Netflix, it's a little bit harder for us to get those licenses because they see us as a Chinese company first. Over time, that should change once our brand builds and builds. But right now, we'll be focusing on the movies and the TV shows that are both shown here and overseas.
No, that makes sense. So it'll kind of be like a compounded effect, essentially. The more and more global licenses that you acquire, the easier it will be to other licensees, right? To be like, hey, well, we're pretty global. We got a lot of properties. We're not just exclusive to the Asian market. And then they'd be more inclined to grant those licenses, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
That's usually how it works. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
John,
it's a constant uphill battle, essentially. So,
John, is there any confirmation as to which version of the what was it, the Ben Affleck Batman you guys are actually working on? Whether if it's like Batman versus Superman or if it's Justice League?
I think Justice League.
Okay.
Because I think there could be a few more characters from the Justice League as well. I know that from the BVS line, we'd be looking at more the small scale statues right now for Queen Studios, but for InArts, I think we're looking more towards Justice League. So
with that being said, are you guys the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman as well? Is that also from Justice League and anybody else, or?
So that the reason why I say Justice League is because I've seen we do have a Wonder Woman planned. We do have more characters planned, but they didn't mention if it was Justice League specifically. But it just makes sense to make them from the Justice League. So I think that's likely what's going to happen. But I'm not 100% sure on that right now.
Well, see, and I wasn't sure because I know with the Dark Knight, you guys have branded it the Dark Knight trilogy as the property. So I wasn't sure with the Snyderverse if it's, is it also branded in anything that, like, Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So with the trilogy, we've just basically signed for the trilogy. So that gives us the freedom to choose any character from the trilogy. So licensing wise, we have to write the Dark Knight trilogy on the box, on the base, if it's included on the base, or anywhere where the logo is used, we have to write the trilogy because that's a license that we've signed for all three movies. I'm not sure how it works with like the Snyderverse and the different movies within the DC.
Right, because it wasn't quite branded as a trilogy.
Yeah.
Essentially, okay.
Yeah.
So since you're doing Dark Knight trilogy, can I put in a request for the Batman Begins suit?
Yeah. Well,
that's
why we have these conversations. The more we chat with people, the more we can see what people really think. There's a lot of questions that we still haven't answered that I'm picking up today in the chat, and I'll go away and I'll speak to the team and make sure we answer these questions. And then also I can pass the feedback on about the Selina Kyle, and also about the Batman Begins suit as well. That's really get a lot of requests for that one. So,
well, I can't speak for the
anything from the '89 Batman, the Keaton Batman movies. Anything, Can we get a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman?
That one, So we've been asked about that for years. For like the last 5 years, I've worked at Queen. Well, 4 years I've worked at Queen Studios. We've been asked about the '89 Batman, and it could be a licensing issue this side that we've not been able to get it so far. So I think it's likely now, but there's no reason. Like '89 was like a long time ago, so we've got a few more years. I don't think there's a big rush for that one.
You're making me feel old, John.
You're not killing them, man.
No, I know, right? Jeez, no, I'm kidding. Sean, did you have any questions by chance either? Anything?
Well, it's kind of
DC or
like
anything?
well, kind of like within that is how you've been getting answers for like the '89 Batman and all that, and it seems like you're working on some, thinking about working on like the Justice League stuff, which is still relatively recent. Were there any IPs from like DC or any other brands like you were looking or hoping to get? Like any of the DC stuff from back in the day from the 80s and 90s, or any other type of properties that you would just love to get your hands on and to get out there?
Yeah, there's a few. One of them we've already sort of, that's one of the ones that we really wanted. We've sort of got the contract pretty much for now. Another one would be, I can't say the other name of the other one because we're still in negotiations with them right now. And if another company sees it, they could jump in and maybe negotiate that one. So we've got to be careful with that. But there is one that I spoke to our CEO about, which is Peaky Blinders. So that's more recent from the TV series. But I think they're already working with another company on that right now. So I don't think it's going to be easy to get. But from the 80s and 90s, I think there's two we have in mind, but it's just we're going to have to just keep communication with the licensor.
Right, and then kind of keep it on the DL for right now. Just which I understand. I totally understand that. I did have a question. I got one more super chat here that we should discuss real quick though. He was wondering, and thank you so much, Ian, for the $2 super chat. Is saying any news on The Last of Us InArts figures?
No news just yet on that. I think the next figure could be Aragon, and then after that could be June. I'm not sure about if or when Last of Us would happen. It could be sometime next year.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Super chats keep coming in, guys. But one thing I wanted to know. I had a question from my buddy Peter. I don't know if you guys know Posing with Peter. He couldn't make it tonight. He's probably going to go ahead and watch the replay. He says, hello, John. Appreciates all you're doing. He was wondering, for the Batman, if the shin guards and the gauntlets are removable, if you would know that, because then you can, kind of hike the outfit a little bit, be able to pose more. I don't know if you're aware, a lot of other 6-scale figures, we'll tend to do that, right? We can remove certain pieces to kind of, push up the fabric, things like that to get, more dynamic poses.
Yeah, they didn't mention whether that's removable. Most of the things that are removable are shown in the image itself. So like the utility belt, all those different pieces like that. That doesn't mean that it's not. It's just that they've not pictured it that way, or they've not mentioned to us that way that the shin guards are removable. So that's another question that I'll have to follow up on and make sure we're as clear as possible with our answer on that as well. Okay. Well, I appreciate the response. Easy Figures, my man with $5 super chat, also says, thanks for taking the time to do these Q&As, John, and being as transparent as possible. We appreciate it. Well, thank you, my man. Yeah, no worries. I think it's probably frustrating for some people because they want really specific answers, and I know that I can't answer every detail because the team that are managing it, they're all very, very busy, basically. So we ask questions, we don't hear back for a bit of time, and they don't always give us the exact updates. That as a team, we're learning more about the figures and how to answer the questions as best as possible, but sometimes the information doesn't come fast enough to us, and that will just get better over time. And like I mentioned, as we show more samples, production samples and pieces, I think that'll just answer people's questions. That's probably the best way, and it's not going to be too long now.
Okay. No, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. A couple more super chats here, guys. Trying to get through them. Riley Reviews, my man. Thank you so much for $2 super chat. Riley, one half of the Wonder Twins with KG. He says, when can we expect limited edition Walking Joker?
That should be around Q2 next year, I believe, if everything goes to plan. I think that's the original.
Now, when we say expect, does that mean announcement photos or?
So it depends on the team and the licensor. So we probably could announce, like we did with the Batman, we shared photos much sooner, like some teasers much further in advance. But in terms of release, it would probably be Q2.
Okay. Oh, so Q2 could be released.
Could be.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Riley.
Yeah, that depends on the schedule and how things go. But I think that's the initial plan.
Okay.
Quick turnaround.
That is. And Bob Dylan again. Thank you for the $5 super chat, bro. He says, if there's a QC issue with a Queen statue, how long does a replacement or repair take? Shipping costs on the customer, and how will InArts issues be handled?
Great question.
That's a great question.
It's a good question, and that's why we posted over the weekend or last Friday. We posted the update on how we manage our orders processing. So we shared the link to the customer support page, and it basically breaks down if you order from Queen Studios and if you order from someone else. So it doesn't matter who you order from, that's the person you should contact. So it's the same if you have like an iPhone damage. If you damage your iPhone, you don't email the headquarters in California, you go to the store that you bought from or a local store. From us, how it works is if you have a damage and you bought from a specific store, you need to contact that store, and then they'll contact our customer service team, and they'll work with our customer service team here and arrange the replacements, or depends on what the issue is. If it's a small replacement, we'll ship that out directly. If it's a complete replacement, we'll ship it to the store, and then they'll ship it back onto the customer. But all customer service needs to be handled directly with the person or the store you bought from, because otherwise we don't have any order records for you, so we don't know if it's a legitimate purchase or not.
Okay, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. I do appreciate that. I had a question really quick though that was on my mind, and I think it's on a lot of people's minds. We've gotten the Joker, Pennywise, Gandalf, and now Batman. And I'm just curious, with 4 announcements, no releases yet, is there anything that you can say to perhaps reassure the community? Because I know there's a lot of people asking like, oh, these figures look really great, but I want to wait until my Joker's in hand before I pick up, figure number 2, 3, 4, etc. Right? And so I know that's a little difficult being a new company, especially in 6-scale form. But is there any, what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of people have been asking that, and I don't have an answer because everybody's,
That's just hard to answer because at the end of the day, there's the early adopters take the risks, but from our side, we don't see that as a risk because the guys that are working on the figures and the guys that are making the figures have been in the industry for 5 to 10 years. Most of them. There's not many junior people in the team. They all know their business. They're all very experienced. So really, the only way to tell is when we get those production samples in, should be September, October time. That's when we can really show you guys. But when we made the statues and busts, we had the same thing. We came out of nowhere. We got a lot of attention because we made these really hyperreal silicone busts. And there's always a proportion that'll say, okay, I want to wait. And there's not a lot we can do about that. And if you're that kind of person that wants to wait, then that's what you're going to do. And I think over time will prove that these figures are as good as we say they are. And I don't think there's another way, really.
No, because that's exactly what it is, right? You're going to have to. A lot of the guys in the company have been doing this for years, even though the products now are new from new company. I totally get that. I am getting blown up, you guys, with super chats. I appreciate it. Go ahead, Mario.
John, I got a quick question too. So you mentioned earlier too, I believe you guys are doing I believe it's InArts Game of Thrones line.
Yep.
So with last night we just got House of the Dragon that premiered on HBO. It's pretty damn good, man. Any thoughts or any you guys considering doing any new figures from that IP possibly from the new series?
Yeah, so when we had we had a meeting with Warner Brothers a few months ago, House of Dragon is like really big for them, because it's under their like licensing umbrella. So they're trying to push us within the House of Dragon characters, and I know we're doing stuff for the statues, and later down the line we do have Game of Thrones characters planned for our figures, and I think House of Dragon will feature eventually as well. But like you said, it's the balance though.
Yeah.
In the previous question you asked, how can we keep making these figures if no one's seen anything yet? But then on the other hand, people want us to keep making the figures.
Right. So you're like, well,
yeah.
So with Game of Thrones, then does that mean that a Jon Snow is coming?
Yeah, there's a Jon Snow in the plot in the line.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
What about as far as like the statues? I mean, you guys looking at quarter scale, third scale for some of the Game of Thrones pieces?
We're looking at a few busts. I'm not sure about the statues right now. I've seen a bust planned already.
Any particular character you can share with us, or is it just a bust?
I can't say right now because I know that there's other companies that are working on something similar. So
Gotcha.
I think we want to just wait a little bit, and then when we're ready to show the first images and the teasers, we can share them.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Well, I just have a few more here. Super chats. Ian Moore with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my man. He says, "Thanks, John. I hope you guys get the Last of Us license. Have you decided which bat flick for InArt yet? Would love the standard BVS suit."
I think we already asked that.
I think we did.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
We did. Yeah.
Maybe that just kind of like re-showed up.
No, I asked that question.
Yeah, Mario.
No, no,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. My bad. My bad. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes the chat also like doubles back.
Yeah, it was actually he mentioned Justice League most likely.
Yeah.
But-
You're right. You're right. But thank you so much. I do appreciate the super chat. SJC360, my man, with a $2 bomb says, "Is Nightmare Joker a thing?"
Is that from the Snyderverse, right?
It's
Yep.
from the Snyder cut of Justice League.
Yeah.
The nightmare
Snyder
scene
cut,
in the Snyder. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've not seen anything planned, but I know that when they released the Snyder cut, I know that was really popular in China. People were sharing those images around. So I think it's something we really want to do, but it's not in the plan in the next like 2 or 3 quarters. So
Because there's like a third party figure out there.
yeah,
him.
I think that's what's also like captured the imagination here is that the
Oh, wow.
Snyder cut, when it came out, people were really interested and they were resharing those all on like this Chinese social media platform. So I think it's something we'd look at, but right now it's not in our plan.
Okay. Well, thank you, man. Riley, really quick too, as well. $2 super chat. Thank you, my man. He says, "Sick. When can we expect Christian Bale, the Dark Knight Batman?"
Yeah, so that should be next year as well. I'm not sure if it's Q1 or Q2, but it should be in 2023.
Okay, good to know. And Kinky Sphincter with a $5 super chat as well says, "Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Not sure if you can or been said already, but what version movie will you be making of Bale and the DC Trinity?" Yeah, so we've gotten a few of these.
Yeah, it's most likely going to be to pair with the Joker. That's probably the first one we'll start with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the Batman Begins, I've not seen that in the line plan just yet, and also we've not got a Bane plan just yet. So it's more likely going to pair with the Joker.
Well, that would make more sense, right? I mean, just to they're from the same movie. I think that would work. And then Bob Dylan finally with $5 super chat. Thanks, Bob, so much. He says, "Just for reference, J&D is now offering after-sales support regardless of where you purchase their product from. Is that something to consider going forward?"
Yeah, we don't turn anyone away. We don't. If you've got a damage, we don't say, we don't like push you off and say it's not our problem. But the thing is that we don't know who you bought from, and we don't have your order record, so we can't deal with it directly. That's the main issue. So there's there is a very small minority, but there are cases where people have like shared other photos of someone else's damages, and they've tried to go through that way. And because we've got no order records, it can cause issues on our side. So that's why we say go directly to the person you bought from. But we'll never turn anyone away. We'll just try and work with you. But you've really got to go with the person or store you bought from, because they've got your order history and we don't. So that's why we say that.
Right, that makes sense. Okay. That makes sense.
Jay,
like did you have anything? Sorry.
Like I'm sorry. Would it be like a just harping on back on that? Would you have like a paid service? Like, let's say somebody buys a bust and it needs a touch up, the hair needs touched up, or just needs to. Do you guys have like a pay service where they can have insurance plan to you guys and they can touch it up and you can touch it up for them?
Maybe it's something we can consider for the smaller scales, but with the busts, it's really just so expensive to ship at the moment. So it wouldn't be worth it to most people. Like, to ship it to us and back, it could cost you like $600, $700 at least. So what we'd be saying is we're starting to build like a network of local artists that we know, or work with our stores that know local artists, and we can get you in touch with someone that might know someone, a specialist that can come around, touch it up, fix any small problems if there are any. That's generally how we approach it. We try to work with our partners locally to solve those. Just because shipping it back here, it's just quite...
Well, it's a nightmare. It'd be a logistic nightmare. It'll take you a year, right? If I had money, like if I send it back to you guys, pay all this money, then you got to send it back. Takes months and money.
Yeah.
I get that. I totally get that. Sean, did you have anything else that came to mind?
Not that I know of. I think it was a lot of these questions that are coming in are very good. They're very thought out. A lot of people are wanting to know what we're looking for because we just got images. That's all we have. And I think it's getting some pretty good clarity on what people are looking for. And clearly, there's some excitement for this. So I'm hoping... I can't wait to see what else they start coming out with and giving us more information on these figures.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a question. John, how's the negotiations working out with the Star Wars license in regards to bus,
negotiations,
statues, InArts, what have you?
It's just hard. It's not very easy because the Star Wars license has been around a long time. They've got a lot of partners in place already. So for us, we're just going to keep working at it and see what we can do, and every year just keep asking and asking until they get tired.
Oh, and every year Mario's going to keep asking you too.
Every time I see you, bro, I'm going to keep asking and asking. I'll try to keep it like once every quarter, bro. Now I won't hassle you like every time I see you, but yeah, man.
So let me ask you this then, Mario. If you guys, John, are able to acquire a Star Wars license, then what? Does everything behind you disappear?
I've said it many times before when I was doing in and outs. If Queen Studios were to get a license for core skill Star Wars, everything behind me will most likely disappear.
Wow, just a core skill. You'd be fine with that.
Join us. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. All right, my man. All right.
But a third scale, A New Hope, Darth Vader, man.
Ooh.
Easy money.
One of the things I was actually kind of wondering is we're just mainly talking about global stuff, but mostly US based knowledge. Like, we're talking about the Star Wars, the DC, Marvel. But do you happen to know the fact that you mentioned before that they always are going to view it as a Chinese based company first? Are there any aspects like of the Chinese IPs and all that, of like figures and characters that are based within China that you are excited for, like, us to see? Like, let's say like collectors that don't know that much about what your Chinese market strongly focuses on. Is there anything that you guys are excited to have other collectors outside that market see?
Chinese IP, because of the language, it's not as popular internationally. But there is a movie coming out. It was supposed to be out this year, but because of the pandemic's been rearing its head again in China, that it's been delayed till next year. And I've forgotten the full name, but it's based on the Journey to the West, the Monkey King, which is a really famous
You already told
story.
me.
Yeah, Sean's sold. Yeah, not sold. Sorry, I already knew.
You just gave me Sung Wukong. I'm good. I'm already paying for it.
Yeah. Next year we'll be releasing it. It should be a statue though. So I think it's quarter scale, and it looks incredible. We've been working directly with the team that are actually making the movie because it's like an animation. So I saw the first one. It's the sequel. The first one came out in 2016, and it's really good. So next year when we release that, I think that should be quite big for us.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, because I know Sean's into a lot of those. There's actually a lot of movies and stuff I like as well, but I didn't know if anything would ever be like down that road. You know, a lot of the older Hong Kong movies, the John Woo stuff, things like that. I didn't know if you guys were going to dabble into 6 scale with those as well.
Like the good old Shaw Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
If we could persuade the team to maybe do, I don't know, like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon character or something like that, maybe if there's enough people behind it, and there's a few like classic Jackie Chan films, we could look at that.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Well, and I figure they may cater more obviously to the Asian demographic, but there's a lot of people in the States that would buy them too.
I actually think a lot of those like older Hong Kong movies are more popular overseas than in the domestic market. When I've asked a few people, then they're okay, but they've got their own. It's like similar to like Bollywood in India. They're just churning out films all the time. Here they're churning out films, and it's just purely for the domestic market. So those ones are really popular.
Okay. And Riley, really quick again, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He says, "Sorry, so you're saying the Dark Knight Batman would be announced with photos pre-order in 2023, or do you mean officially released in Q1 next year?"
Yeah. So clearly on the terminology, when I say released, I mean like released on pre-order. So in terms of the shipping schedules and that kind of thing, we'd know more to the time. It depends. Each figure has a slightly different pre-order production time, just because of the accessories and the different things we're going to make with it. So we won't know until that time how long it'll take to ship. But in terms of pre-order release, it should be around Q1, Q2.
Okay, good to know. And then Blur Dad Life celebrating 6 months channel membership, my dude. Is any plans for Christopher Reeve's Superman? Yeah, I think a lot of us would like to know that.
Yeah, that falls into the like similar category to like the Batman '89. It's an older movie that wasn't that back when these movies were released. There was no movie like industry in China at that time, in mainland China. There was in Hong Kong, but not in mainland China. So our domestic market might not have the demand here, and I think that's one of the reasons why. And then also, I think those older movies are harder to get the rights for because there's not as many companies make them.
So it sounds like there's no hope for 66 out in West than Batman, is there?
Probably not. No.
That was gonna be the next one. That was gonna be the next question.
That was the next one. I figured Jay was coming in on that one. You know, may I ask, we've talked about this before. You mentioned, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months ago that a 1/6 scale DeLorean is coming. That's still coming, right?
As far as I know, it should be, but I've not seen the dates or the timeline for that just yet, because we've put a lot of focus into the Warner Brothers licenses right now, and then the 2 other new licenses that should be global. So I'm not sure about when that would be released.
Okay.
Still no idea of which model in particular either?
Yeah, they've not been very clear on that right now, because that's been managed by another part of our licensing team, so I don't have as much knowledge on that.
But it is coming, though.
Should be, yeah, as far as I know.
Okay.
Any idea on which figures from Back to the Future?
I don't know if they've got the figures right now. I think it's just the DeLorean, but again, they've not been very clear on that at the moment because it's owned by Universal, I think. So that's like a separate license, which we're still working through the line plans on that.
Okay.
Going back to the vehicles, how's everything going with the Batmobile? Is that still something that's still in the works, or?
Yeah, we need to know that, John. That's that. We need to know that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So those 2 are both vehicles. So there'd be, I think, there's still more challenges with those 2 in particular. It would be with another team that would be working on those in particular. Like I think we're working with like specialists that are making vehicles, that kind of thing. Whereas the guys that are in-house right now are just working purely on figures. and all the
Gotcha.
accessories, that kind of stuff. So I think that's why there's not been as much news, because it would be within Viper's team, but I think there's another group working on that.
Okay.
So if there was like a bad cycle, then it'd probably be the same thing. An outside team doing working on the vehicles.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
An example would be the alien bust. So the alien bust in particular, we worked with a French artist. I think it's Stefan, Stefan. And
you're right. I read that.
That's like his focus. He's really good at that kind of art. We worked with a Japanese artist for our Bloodstone Batman. We tend to work with the guys that are really specialists in their field. So if we don't have someone in-house, we'll work with someone that is a specialist, and then we'll find the best places to make them. Everything's made here anyway, so we can always find someone to make it, and we'll look for the best companies to work with.
That would be cool, because honestly, and I've said this a bunch on my streams too, and even just amongst us, behind the scenes, I always wondered that, with the Batmobile, I figured surely there would be some kind of, and I don't necessarily want to say outsourcing, but a different team, right? Because the team's experienced and their expertise is figures, not so much vehicles. But it feels like in the 6 scale community world right now with the Batman, with Hot Toys Batman coming, your guys' Batman coming. We know that we had Jazz Inc. doing a Batmobile, and then Hot Toys teased a Batmobile, and then you guys announced a Batmobile coming. It feels like almost like there's a stalemate. I don't know if there was like a cause for concern, is there for competition or anything, or is it just like when it's ready, essentially?
Yeah, I think when it's ready, I think sometimes if we're on a tight deadline, we might push things forward a little bit, like we did with this recent Batman release where we shared the images and then released a second batch following. But usually we want to make sure everything's set up, we've got everything approved, everything's done the right way before we make an announcement. Especially because earlier this year when we did like the online showcase, there was a few questions about showing things too soon. So I think we're very mindful of that now, and we're trying to think about that when we release more information in the future.
Okay. Alrighty. And there's a couple super chats here. Yomo with $2. Thank you so much. He says, request InArt Matrix characters preference 1 through 3. I think is he's wondering.
Yeah. They're asking
First
if
trilogy.
you're going to be able to do the first trilogy of Matrix characters.
Yep.
We should be able to, because I know we've got the license for our statues, but I believe the first Neo is going to be from the is it Matrix 4, the new Matrix. So I know that one's not as popular, but we will be looking. Yeah, we will be looking at others down the line, I think.
Yeah, because I think original Neo or Reloaded, something like that. That's gonna, in my opinion, would sell a lot better. Yeah.
You guys did the Reloaded. The Queen Studios did the Reloaded for the 1-to-1, right?
Statue,
is that coming?
yeah.
Is that coming down for quarter scale or anything, or?
I think our initial plan was to do we were working on the Matrix 4. So we've got the 1-to-1 statue that we showcased last year at a festival. And then we were talking about a quarter scale Neo with like rooted hair as well. But I think when we were planning that, it was before Matrix 4 came out, and we were planning to release it at the same time. But when the reviews came out, I think it was quite mixed. So from what I understand, we've put that project on pause, and I'm not sure if we're going to pick it back up or work on a different character. Did not mention that right now, but I think based on like you guys, your response when I mentioned Matrix 4, I think that's why
you see it right now in the chat.
Not as bad as Amber Heard, but yeah, I just don't know. And then that's not. I mean, I'm not. I'm sure there's a lot of people that enjoyed Matrix 4, but I think the majority prefer the trilogy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So it is. And then Austin McLean, my man, with $2 super chat, he says, wait, so does the Batman release in Q2 or Q4? He's not sure yet. The Patterson Batman here that we're talking about.
The shipping deadline. I'm not sure. You'd have to. I can't remember. I didn't ask about that. I should remember that. It should be Q2 next year, maybe.
Okay. For shipping.
Yeah, probably the first batch. I'd have to double check that again. I've been caught up with all the other questions. I forgot about the release, the shipping time, but it should be on the website.
Okay. All right. Well, I do appreciate that. And Christian Detour's collection with the super chat, I do appreciate very much as well. He says, is there a chance for Tom Cruise, Top Gun 1 or 2?
That one might be difficult politically because I believe Top Gun wasn't allowed to be shown in China because it had a certain badge on his jacket. So I think we'd have to stay clear of that one, unfortunately.
Okay. Fair enough.
What about Tom Cruise Mission Impossible and something like that? Like at least just a Tom Cruise figure.
As we mentioned at the beginning of the year, we're definitely open to ideas. So if there's enough people behind a certain movie franchise, we want to hear from you. Like there is power in community. Like look at you guys pushed and pushed and pushed for the change of the Gandalf staff, and then what happened? So it all comes down to the community. If you guys are loud enough, we'll listen.
Guys,
the community is definitely loud enough.
Guys, come on, let's go.
Yeah,
right. So with that, then more than likely we may see some changes to this Batman's cape.
Yeah. I think that. So what I asked today, what can I mention? They said don't say anything just yet because they're looking into it. But the feedback's been heard loud and clear. We've seen it on multiple comments, and same from today's questions and the chat. There's lots of different questions that we've not answered. That doesn't mean there isn't an answer. It just means we haven't answered yet. So we'll get back to you all. Okay.
And I only have one more question. I'll see if Jay or Mario or Sean here has anything. But what's going on with Harley Quinn? Anything? Any versions? Any kind? In 6-scale form?
In 6-scale form, there is a Harley Quinn in the works, but
nice.
The timing, I'm not sure when. Again, we've got a lot. We've got a big line list for next year. I think what we're waiting for now is just more approvals, more licenses overseas, and then we can just go forward with our plan. And then also, as you guys mentioned, more people want to see samples and production pieces. So as we get those out, we can build momentum from there.
Right, because I mean, prototypes are great, but final product, that's the big, that's the hurdle, right? That's the next hurdle here, because everybody can look, and I know you mentioned you're going to be showing off some, but they would be prototypes, right? They wouldn't necessarily be final product yet. So
by September, October, it could be final, like a really, really small batch from the early production, but I'm not sure. That's what I was told, because we're expecting to ship the first batch in Q4 anyway, so we could be close to that deadline anyway. So we'll know closer to the time. There's still a little bit uncertainty on that right now, and we're a few weeks away from there.
Okay, all right. Dante, Man How Collectibles, my brother, dude, what's going on, man? He said, hello, everyone. Making a quick stop by to say hi. What is up, my man? Thank you for coming through. Dante, so that's good to know. That's good to know, because again, I think it's just that's the hurdle, right? That's where everybody's reservations are at right now, right? Like, shoot, okay, a lot of people got the Joker, but they're still waiting, and then more figures coming, but they're like, well, wait a minute, I need to have a figure in hand because I need to know, which is valid. I mean, it's a tricky situation, which I totally understand.
Yeah, and we understand that. So it's just a tough balancing act right now of moving forward with our plans, but then also making sure that people get their first piece and then seeing the proof is in the pudding, essentially, that it's as good as we've advertised.
Gotcha. And then Braden here with a $3 super chat. Thank you so much, Braden. It says Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi, Daniel's son. Possible.
It's possible, maybe, but again, we'd need to know how popular it still is. I know that the Netflix series has been really popular, but the original movies, we'd need to see. Yeah, we need to just see what people are interested in, who to get a license from, that kind of thing.
Okay,
John,
that would be awesome.
What's next for InArts as far as like some of the announcements that are still on that were on that list that we can expect to see this year?
I think Aragon should be next, and then maybe June. I think there's still a few things we're working on. Like I mentioned, it's the licensing. We're hoping to have some updates by October, so it's just a month away. So by then, hopefully, we'll have some good news. What's next for InArt in general is we're gonna as time goes on, we recruit more people to the team so that we're more clear about points of articulation, clear about the different attachments, detachments, those kind of things. And we're just going to work on that. And we're going to separate slightly from Queen Studios. We're still under the same company, but there'll be two separate teams completely. So you'll have a complete separate website for InArt, separate Facebook page for InArt, and it'll all be managed through one team. And eventually we're going to get to that point where it should be a lot smoother, the whole process.
Will you still be able to hang out with us if when that happens?
I hope so, because it's not very easy to hire foreigners right now in China, so maybe I'll still be helping out with these guys.
You'll be on the swing shift, right? Just like, hey, I'm here. Maybe you'll start turning into a community manager or something.
John, I got one more. My last question. My cousin's been hitting me up. He'll kill me if I don't ask this. In reference to the statues, do you think we'll be getting, especially with the new Black Panther movie and everything coming out, you think we'll get a Chadwick Boseman Black Panther statue?
We asked about a Chadwick Boseman Black Panther statue about a year ago, but it was around the same time. When did he die? Was it 2020?
He used that 2 years ago. 2020.
Yeah. We were asking around that time anyway because we'd already released the Black Panther bust, but because of the timing, they said that the family and his estate weren't interested in anything at that time. We did draw up plans for a masked version on a throne, but I don't know what happened with that, whether that's still in the works or not. So I'm hoping something next year. I know that the Black Panther 2 is coming out soon, so we should have something, but it's really difficult to say right now. I don't know if we'll be able to have an unmasked portrait of Chadwick though.
So the estate, that's really what it comes down to. It's not so much that you guys didn't want to do it, it's that his estate is just not interested at this time.
At that time, yeah, because it was just really close to when he passed away, so it's understandable.
Naturally,
and we've got to move on. We've got other projects to work on, but it's always something we've wanted to do.
No, that's good to know. I mean, a lot of the community, I'm not sure if they know that, a lot of that through anybody, not just through you guys, but through anybody who creates licensed characters of real life people, oftentimes they do have to go through their estates. If these actors have passed on, and if the estate says no, then the estate says no, and that's all. Because I hear that the same thing with Hot Toys. Why aren't they making this or that? Well, you never know, right? They could just be like, no, we're not giving you guys the rights to do that, yeah. and then you move on.
Yeah, the same. We wanted to work with the NBA. We wanted to do lots of NBA figures, and we also wanted to do a Kobe because Kobe is really popular in China. We wanted to do a LeBron James, but you also have to go if they're not within most of them are within like the NBA Players Association. So you have to get licensed from both the NBA and the Players Association. And if they're no longer playing, you have to go directly to their management team, which is an additional license. So it all gets really complicated. Sometimes it's that complicated. We just get on the to-do list, the wish list, and then we come to it later.
Okay. No, that makes sense. That would be very difficult, right? Because it's the players, their agents, the contracts, the team, everything, all has to go through this chain of command, sort of through multiple stages of approval and negotiations and all this, and everybody's got to get a piece of the pie, and which I totally get. Anything else to add, Sean? Before we wrap up here, we have a few more minutes.
No, I think pretty good answering all the good questions and getting everything that everyone's been asking. So
fair point. Good. Yeah. Okay, Mario, Jay, anything else? I'm just trying to think here. We've kind of covered quite a bit, and a lot of good questions in the chat as well. I know there's a couple in here I can look. I know Big Bretta was asking any chance for Jack Nicholson's statue or 6 scale, but I don't know if that falls into the whole 89 Batman thing or...
Yeah, I think Jack Nicholson's license is also particularly difficult as well. I also spoke with one of the licensing companies about there's certain licenses just really hard for some reason. So I asked about the James Bond license again, and they said although it's not impossible, it's very difficult. And I think it's the same with Jack Nicholson. It's not impossible, it's very difficult because not many companies have made figures with his likeness or statues.
Well, he's very particular. He's like a Harrison Ford. You know, and when I know they both are just kind of like, I don't know, Harrison Ford's just so over Star Wars in general. I think he'd be more inclined to do an Indiana Jones figure than, you know what I mean, than a Han Solo. And I know Jack Nicholson's kind of the same, right? He's just like, no, it's super rare. So yeah, totally get that. And my bro, Lael, 1/6 scale, man, what is going on, Lael, my dude? What is up, man? He says, John, please tell me the next InArt figure is Wonder Woman. And thank you so much for the super chat, brother.
So I know Lael's waiting for his quad scale Wonder Woman, but unfortunately there's no updates on when the 6 scale Wonder Woman will be made. So it's not. I know it's definitely not the next figure, and I know it's definitely in 2023 from the line plan that I've seen. But that line plan has to be approved by Warner Brothers, so there could be some changes within that, and hopefully we'll get some news by October.
All right, that would be awesome.
John, I have one more question if you don't mind. What's like next for Queen Studios? Any teasers that you can give us right now, whether it be busts or third quarter scale statues?
This week we have a 6 scale Shiru statue from the 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘 manga series, and then next week we're looking at creating what I think is incredible is the 𝗕𝗘𝗘𝗓 doll body arm. So it's like an arm like this, and it's got the porcelain look, it's got all the detailing, and then also if you look really closely you can see like the mechanical clockwork underneath. It looks amazing. So I know we're going to release the 𝗕𝗘𝗘𝗓 arm next week, all being well, and then after that awesome. I'm not sure what's coming in September, but I know the Thor life-size bust should be arriving around that time. So the hyper-real silicone Thor life-size bust.
Aliens, man, that's what I need to know, because you talked about it. That alien bust blew my mind. Are we gonna get more alien stuff, statue wise, bust wise? Is there Ripley? Just more anything? Is it continuing?
There's no Ripley just yet, but our art director in particular is a massive alien fan. I've been to his house a few times, and he's got loads of alien statues and alien busts all over his house. So that's why he's wanted to make that bust. He wanted to make something that just meets his standards. So I know he'll probably want to work more with that license. But I think the plan is, if we're going to make more alien, we need to have like more regions before we work on those.
That's
okay,
awesome.
Because I love Alien so much, and I know you guys had done some polls in the Facebook groups a few months ago, asking what kind of 80s, this and this, all these kind of figures that, because the U.S. demographics are way different, right, than overseas. So that I noticed it, and it's kind of it's odd, right? Because all of the properties that showed up at the top of the list have all been done before, So right, but I'm telling you, the Aliens, Terminator, Predator.
And you just mentioned 𝗕𝗘𝗘 too. Any chance of InArts, tackling 𝗕𝗘𝗘𝗘 as well?
We'd like to, but again, I think the license we've got right now with Fox is mostly for statues and busts, and it's mostly for China. But the 𝗕𝗘𝗘𝗓 series, there's only been one movie so far, but I think there's supposed to be a number 2. But 𝗕𝗘𝗘𝗓 as a character, the team here really like that license. We just had a lot of fun working on it, and I know James Cameron has like a bust in his office. He's
so gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that thing many times. Love it. What about anything in quarter scale possibly for 𝗕𝗘𝗘𝗓?
Yeah, quarter scale in the works in the next couple of months. And that James Cameron and I think his production company is called Lightstorm. Those guys really like our work, so we need to just try and keep good relationships with those guys and see what we can expand into.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, and finally, I do have one more super chat here from SJC360. Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. He said, "Why are there so many paper accessories?" And I think he's referring to the Batman and the Riddler cards.
Yeah, so I don't know like the thickness or the type of paper that they've used, but they just want to use as many authentic accessories as possible. So if in the movie a card's made of cards, so they try and use as many authentic materials as possible. So where we can, we'll use like a die cast for like a gun or something like that, because it's the closest we can use to like a proper metallic weapon. So
okay, no, that makes sense.
so
trying to make it
that's what
as
we try to do.
accurate as what the figure represents from whatever movie or show, etc.
Yeah, even with the Joker, the jail cell bars should be die-cast metal as well. The floor should be real wood. So all of those materials. Also with the Joker, we've made a statue before. The third scale statue, we shared a video of that the other day. That was Viper's team who worked on, like, he's got another team that's worked on that before. So
The
we
third
just
scale or
basically
quarter scale?
his team worked on the quarter scale, but I think he was sort of in collaboration with us a few years ago, and we've worked on those other projects. So in terms of like the scaling down of the metal bench we used for that Joker and the wood floor, it's a similar concept. We just want to use as many authentic materials as possible.
Okay,
That's right. My mind slipped on the third scale one. That's right.
yeah.
I just saw that.
So I'm curious though, real quick before we wrap, guys. So with the Joker, the 2-pack. Well, let's just say the Joker, the first figure, the first InArt figure. Originally, I was hearing that was it the 2-pack that was shipping first, or the sculpted that was shipping first, or was that just a rumor? Are they coming out at the same time, and are they still projected to be released this year?
Yeah, no one's mentioned that here, so I know that generally the community talks, and I don't know where the sources are. It doesn't mean it's true or not true. But from what I've been told, we're on schedule. They didn't mention which version would ship first. They just mentioned that the first batch would be Q4 this year, and it should ship on time. But Q4 starts in October, ends in December. So within that time frame, we should.
Well, that's sooner than we think.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll come around fast.
Right. I mean, in a week or so, it's September.
Yeah.
So it could be as early as 6 weeks from now.
Can I ask
Could
that? Was the Joker, like, and some of your other figures, were they already in production before you guys made like official announcements for pre-orders? Because the turnaround is extremely quick.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they started. So we've done this before, where with some of our busts, where we've had like a quick turnaround. We start the production first before the pre-order comes up, because we know we're going to make this many. I don't know if that's the case with the figures. But from when I spoke to the CEO, I was just asking him questions about all of this. He said that the factory that we're working with is one of the best in the country, in China, and almost everything's made here anyway. So,
Awesome. All right.
so
All right.
that's why I think it's just that the company we're working with is one of the best. So that's the reason he gave me. So I think that's all I know.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. And then finally, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap here. So I appreciate everybody's super chats and time and questions here. But from 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. She says, any plans for a Predator bust and InArts figures, especially based on Prey?
So Prey's on HBO, right?
Well, here at Hulu, I'm not sure overseas.
Yeah. So it's not been streamed over here, so I don't know who owns the rights to Prey.
I think it's Fox or
It's
Disney,
it's
isn't it?
Fox, because I know Prey is on Disney Plus. I think in Europe, I was seeing ads for Disney Plus for Prey, but here in the States, it's on Hulu, which is also
Okay.
Disney.
Basically,
Yeah.
Disney,
So
yeah.
Braden says it's on Disney Plus in Australia. So yeah, and here in the States, it's on Hulu.
Okay, we'd have to find out if it's possible, but there's no plans as of yet, and no one's really seen it here. It's not. I've seen a lot of buzz on Facebook and a lot of the overseas platforms, but nothing really here. So it's unlikely at the moment, but there's no reason if it doesn't, when it releases here or comes out on streaming services, there's no reason we wouldn't visit it later.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Well, all right, guys, we're going to wrap. John, thank you so much for coming on, man. We appreciate your time, and everybody's here on the panel. Any final thoughts or anything to the audience before we wrap?
Only that we really appreciate the two-way communication. I know that's probably frustrating for a few people that I can't answer all the questions, but this, for me, I think this is a good chance because we do see a lot of comments and it's hard to always filter out the important ones. But when you speak to you guys, we learn a lot more about the key points of focus that we've missed, because sometimes we just forget or we might miss something because we think, oh, it should be, someone knows it, so they assume everyone knows it. So we'll just make sure we clear those up on the blog post. And regarding the cape and the material, we'll probably share that in a specific announcement if we make changes to that.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Well, Mario, Sean, Jay, as always, thank you guys for coming in with John tonight. I guess that's going to be it, guys. So look forward to the future, and we'll probably talk again soon.
Hope so.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, everybody, you guys have a great rest of your night, and we will see you guys, next time.